Hi, fifth graders. So we're going to be taking some notes because I've been talking a lot about improper fractions and mixed numbers, and I want to have a spot where if you forget what that is, you can go back and look. So, oh gosh, maybe a week or two ago, we added a Module 3 tab, so we're going to go to that. And if you haven't done this yet, you need to go underneath this PowerPoint. There will be a little link where you can get caught up on notes if you need to. So I'm opening up to Module 3, and as I said, we already added some notes. We added what a fraction was, what the top number is called, the bottom number, what it all means, how they have to have equal parts, and we talked about what a unit fraction is. So I'm going to flip, and today we're going to talk about fractions over 1. So whatever I write down in the notebook, I would like you to write down also. Fractions over 1. So here's an important thing to remember. I'm going to put a little star and say remember. If we're going to talk about fractions that are over 1, let's talk about fractions that are the same thing as 1. So some examples of that. 1 over 1. 2 over 2. 3 over 3. 4 over 4. 5 over 5. 6 over 6. 7 over 7. No matter what the number is, it could be 127 over 127. If it's the same number on top and bottom, they are all equal to 1 because you have all of the parts. Remember a fraction? The top number tells you how many parts, the number of parts counted. The bottom number tells you how many parts the whole is broken up into. So if you have a chocolate bar that is just one solid chocolate bar, if you have one of the one pieces, you have the whole thing. If you have a chocolate bar that's been split into two, if you have two of the two pieces, you have the whole thing. If you have a chocolate bar cut into 127 pieces and you have all 127 pieces, you have the whole thing. So all of these and more would be equal to 1. Okay. Let's shift our brains over now to numbers that are more than 1. So the first part, let me use this color actually, are improper fractions. I'm going to underline it because that is a vocab word, an improper fraction. And here's what an improper fraction would look like. An example would be 7 thirds. Look at how I wrote it. 7 over 3. 7 thirds. And this is improper because it has a larger number on top. That's what makes it improper. And honestly, I think of it because improper means like it's not right. That's so improper. And when I think of 7 thirds, it's really hard for me to envision what that looks like. Because it's saying that you have 7 parts out of 3 fractional pieces. I'll explain what that looks like. So 7 thirds is improper because it's the larger numbers on top. So it's saying we have 7 parts, but each of the wholes is cut up into 3 fractional pieces. So underneath, let's draw this out. So I said, let's say this is 1. My whole is cut up into 3 fractional pieces. So I'm going to do that. Now I have 3. I have 7 of these pieces. That's what 7 thirds is telling me. So here would be 1 third. We have 7 of those. So here's 1, 2/3, 3/3. But wait, we have more than 3/3. I have 7/3. So I'm going to need another one of these. And I'm going to split it up into thirds again. I had 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3. But wait, I have 7. So I'm going to need another one of these. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/3, 7/3. Oh, see, when I think 7/3, this isn't exactly what I'm trying to picture in my head. There's an easier way to say that. So if I have 7/3, let's look at how that would be written here. We have 3/3 plus another 3/3 plus 1/3. And we should know this, 3/3 plus 3/3 plus 1/3, that is 7/3. But look at how else we could write this. We have 2 holes. 2 of these bars are completely filled in, and then one has 1/3. This is so much easier to picture. In my head, I can picture, okay, 2 bars completely full, and one has a third full. So much easier. So this is typically what we're going to want to use instead. And this is called a mixed number. This is another way you can show numbers or fractions over 1. A mixed number. I'm going to underline it because it's a vocab word. So 2 and 1/3 is an example of a mixed number because this mixed number has a whole number and a fraction. It is mixed. It has 2 parts to it, a whole number and a fraction. And look at how it's written. The whole number normally takes up that same amount of space as the fraction. The 2 is just as big as the fraction is tall. So this is 2 and 1/3. 2 and 1/3. Actually, let's write that here just so I don't forget how to say it. This would be 2 and 1/3. So we use an and in between to say I'm done with the whole number. Here's what the fraction is, 2 and 1/3. All right, that is it for today. Get caught up on your notes and then go on and do the rest of the fluency. Good job today.